Well, the president and his top advisors, including Peter Navarro, now issuing a warning. And that warning is this: blocking Trump's tariff plan could deal a greater blow to the American public. This warning coming after a federal appeals court in D.C. ruled on Friday that most of the president's tariffs were illegal. First, those reciprocal tariffs imposed on countries, and then tariffs put on Canada, China, and Mexico for what the president calls a failure to stop the flow of fentanyl. The president criticizing that ruling on Truth Social, insisting that derailing his tariff policies would have devastating consequences on America, adding it's still the best negotiating tool. Now, Friday's ruling doesn't impact tariffs already implemented under other laws, like the 50% steel and aluminum tariffs. Joining me now is finance and expert principal at Madison Ventures Plus, Mitch Roschelle. Mitch, good morning to you. I think it's easy for a lot of people to be confused by what is going on here. Walk us through this in layman's terms. What impact does this ruling have on our wallets right now, if any?
Well, the bigger picture, Markie, is the fact that we really haven't seen the catastrophic inflation, meaning consumers haven't seen prices go up as a result of tariffs. So if all of this would be unwound as a result of this appeals court ruling in mid-October, I think it would be probably a ho-hum for consumers. But the president's agenda will have been derailed because the president, as he said in his Truth Social post, is using tariffs or the threat of even higher tariffs as a negotiating tool to try to balance trade. And one thing to remember is most of the European countries, for example, that put in tariffs did it on American imports, did it post-World War II to help their economy. Well, we're long past World War II, and these countries are self-sufficient, so they're basically profiting at the expense of American imports.
So how accurate is it for the White House and Trump's advisors to frame blocking the tariffs as an existential threat to the United States? Do you agree with that?
Well, certainly Peter Navarro's language on the Sunday shows was a little hyperbolic, and if I'm being honest about it. Having said that, I think it's catastrophic to the Trump agenda, and the president is saying if we don't balance trade around the world and have tariffs on imports and exports around the world to be quote unquote fair, then that is going to be a long-term impact to the U.S. economy. That I tend to agree with.
And this case is now moving to the Supreme Court for a review, but a ruling on it might not even come till next year. So what's your guidance right now for businesses or investors who are sitting at home going, okay, well, what am I supposed to do next? How do we navigate this, Mitch?
Well, I think the trade negotiators from the administration have lost some of their leverage, and they were using tariffs as leverage. So I think what it does is it creates yet more uncertainty for businesses about, when to import, where from to manufacture, et cetera, et cetera. So I think the key word here is uncertainty. And when businesses have long-term uncertainty about how they go about doing the business, it starts to impact everyday Americans in the form of job losses. So, the good news is, for now, the appeals court said the tariffs can remain in place pending a further appeal, meaning going to the U.S. Supreme Court. So the work, a lot of wood to chop for the Trump administration to try to get these deals closed with these countries and then have an agreed upon tariff with the foreign country that wouldn't be subject to the appeals court ruling.
Yeah, we're going to stay on top of all the new developments that continue to unfold on this. Principal at Madison Ventures Plus, Mitch Roschelle, thanks as always, and happy Labor Day to you.
Same to you. You bet.